Welcome, everyone, to a broadcast that is going to demand your absolute attention. We have an absolutely explosive, incredibly layered, and frankly, deeply concerning story to unpack today. It is a narrative that sits right at the dangerous, shifting intersection of elite professional sports, cutting-edge artificial intelligence, and the wild, largely unregulated frontier of global social media. Over the last 48 hours, the tennis world, the technology sector, and millions of passionate fans across the globe have been completely captivated and then entirely horrified by a video that has gone violently viral across every major digital platform. You have almost certainly seen the headlines flashing across your screens. You have probably seen the clips circulating on your timelines, popping up in your recommended feeds, and being discussed in every sports forum on the internet. The title that is currently dominating the algorithm, the headline that is driving millions of clicks as we speak, reads precisely like this: Viral now. Alexandra Eala surprised Serena Williams deepfake video. And attached to this viral phenomenon, trailing behind it like a digital shadow, is a cryptic, almost sinister tagline that simply states, Alex's best version still hidden. We are looking at a highly sophisticated, incredibly convincing deepfake video that features the exact likeness, the unmistakable voice, the familiar mannerisms, and the undeniable aura of the greatest female tennis player of all time, the legendary 23-time Grand Slam singles champion, Serena Williams. In this fabricated, artificially generated video, this digital illusion of Serena is seen and heard making massive, sweeping, and unprecedented statements about the young Philippine tennis sensation, Alexandra Eala. The fake Serena speaks with absolute conviction, seemingly breaking down Eala's technique with expert precision, predicting a dominant, world-beating future for the young star, and essentially anointing her as the next undisputed ruler of the Women's Tennis Association Tour. The internet, predictably and instantaneously, exploded. Fans of Alex Eala, who have followed her meteoric rise from the junior ranks to the professional circuit, were ecstatic, viewing this as the ultimate validation of her talent. Philippine sports media went into an absolute frenzy, proudly broadcasting what appeared to be the ultimate endorsement from the sport's most respected voice. Tennis enthusiasts around the world were stunned by the sheer magnitude of such a public declaration, analyzing every word the digital Serena spoke. But it was all a lie. It was a completely manufactured, algorithmically generated, mathematically rendered lie that was specifically designed to deceive, to manipulate, and to hijack the massive, dedicated followings of both of these incredible athletes for the sake of views, engagement, and algorithmic supremacy. Today, we're going to dive deep, much deeper than we have ever gone before, into every single facet of this massive controversy. We will break down exactly how this deepfake was created, how it managed to bypass the usual digital safeguards and content moderation filters, and why it was so easily and widely believed by so many intelligent people. We will look at the immediate, visceral reaction from Alexandra Eala herself, a young, focused athlete who is simply trying to navigate the grueling reality of professional tennis, who suddenly, and through no fault of her own, finds herself at the dead center of an international cyber controversy and a massive crisis of digital authenticity. We will analyze the exact timeline of events, tracing the digital footprint from the moment this fake video was first uploaded, to the agonizing, confusing hours it spent racking up millions of views before it was definitively and undeniably debunked by digital forensics experts. Furthermore, we desperately need to talk about Serena Williams in this context. We need to talk about the blatant, unapologetic theft of her digital identity, the unauthorized weaponization of her legendary voice and instantly recognizable image, and the profound legal, ethical, and personal nightmares this presents for global icons who now, in the year 2026, have actively policed their own digital ghosts. And what exactly does that ominous, strange tagline mean? Alex's best version still hidden. Is it a threat from a hacker? Is it a cheap marketing gimmick from some rogue, attention-seeking AI developer trying to show off their rendering skills? Or is it a dark, twisted commentary on the relentless, impossible expectations placed on young prodigies like Eala, suggesting that she is a product to be optimized and upgraded? We are going to comprehensively explore the psychological impact of this incident, not just on players directly involved, but on us, the audience, the consumers of media. How do we navigate a world, a rapidly approaching reality, where we can no longer intuitively trust our own eyes and ears. What does this incredibly deceptive technology mean for the future of sports journalism, for the billion-dollar industry of athletic endorsements, and for the fundamental, foundational truth of the sporting narrative itself? We are witnessing a paradigm shift in real time. The technology used to create this fake Serena Williams video is not the clunky, easily recognizable CGI of a decade ago. It is smooth. It understands the micro-expressions of the human face. It perfectly synthesizes vocal cadence, breathing patterns, and emotional inflection. It is designed to bypass our natural skepticism. And the fact that it chose to target Alexandra Eala, a rising star with a massively passionate fan base in the Philippines and across Asia, was a highly calculated move. The creators knew that the combination of Serena's global authority and Eala's surging popularity would create an unstoppable viral loop. They weaponized hope, national pride, and the universal love of a passing-the-torch narrative to distribute a piece of synthetic media. This is no longer just a story about tennis. This is a story about the fragility of truth in the modern era. It is about how easily the public consciousness can be hacked. When a young player like Alexandra Eala sees a video of her idol praising her, only to discover it is a cold, calculated manipulation, what does that do to her mental state? When Serena Williams, who is currently navigating her own remarkable return to the sport, playing doubles at the Queen's Club in London at 44 years old, has words put into her mouth that she never spoke, how does she protect her legacy? We are standing on the precipice of a terrifying new era in media, and this specific incident involving Eala and the fake Serena is the clearest, most alarming warning sign we have received yet. We have to dissect the motivations, the technology, the fallout, and the future implications. We're going to look at the legal vacuum surrounding AI deepfakes, the burden of proof now placed on the victims, and the urgent, desperate need for new frameworks to handle digital identity theft. Settle in. Make sure you're listening closely and prepare yourselves, because this is going to be an exhaustive, uncompromising, and incredibly important deep dive into the very fabric of our modern digital reality, starting right now. Now, to truly understand the gravity of what has just transpired, we have to look closely at the two figures placed at the center of this digital storm, starting with the target of the fake praise, Alexandra Eala. For those who might not follow the day-to-day grind of the WTA Tour, let me paint a picture of who Alex Eala is and why her narrative made her the perfect subject for this kind of viral manipulation. Eala is the golden child of Philippine tennis. She is a former junior Grand Slam champion, a product of the Rafa Nadal Academy, and a player who carries the enormous, incredibly heavy hopes of an entire nation on her shoulders every single time she steps onto the court. She has been methodically, relentlessly working her way up the professional rankings. We are talking about a young woman whose work ethic is legendary, who has sacrificed normal teenage years for the brutal, lonely reality of the professional tennis circuit. She has been grinding through ITF tournaments, fighting in the qualifying rounds of major WTA events, experiencing the soaring highs of breakthrough victories and the crushing lows of early round defeats. Recently, she has been showing incredible promise, especially as we transition into the grass court season, proving that she has the adaptability and the raw talent to compete with the very best in the world. She represents the future. She represents potential. And in the world of sports media, potential is the most valuable currency. People desperately want to see the next great champion emerge. They want to witness the passing of the torch. And that is exactly the psychological vulnerability that the creators of this deepfake exploited. They knew that the narrative of a seasoned, legendary veteran recognizing the raw talent of a rising star is catnip to the algorithm. It is a story we have seen play out in sports history for decades. Think of Kobe Bryant mentoring a young player, or Tiger Woods acknowledging a new phenom. The creators of this video didn't just use artificial intelligence to mimic a face and a voice. They used emotional intelligence to mimic a beloved sports narrative. They hijacked our collective desire for a heartwarming story of mentorship and recognition. When the video first dropped, the execution was terrifyingly flawless. The fake Serena Williams wasn't just standing in front of a green screen giving a robotic speech. The deep fake was integrated into what looked like a casual, intimate interview setting. The lighting matched perfectly. The audio had the slight echo of a real room. The digital Serena had the characteristic pauses, the thoughtful glances, the slight smiles that we have all watched on television for over 2 decades. She spoke about Eala's left-handed forehand, analyzing the topspin and the court penetration with terminology that sounded entirely authentic. She'd talk about Eala's movement, her mental toughness, and then the digital fake delivered the killing blow, stating definitively that Eala was different from the rest, that she possessed the elusive, undefinable quality required to dominate the sport for the next decade. For the first few hours, it was absolute pandemonium. The video was shared across Twitter, across TikTok, across Instagram Reels. It was picked up by smaller sports blogs and rapidly escalated to major news aggregators. The comment sections were flooded with national pride from the Philippines, with fans thanking Serena for her gracious words, and with analysts debating the merits of the fake Serena's assessment. It was a masterclass in viral engineering. But then, the cracks began to show. Eagle-eyed digital forensic experts began to analyze the footage frame by frame. They noticed the micro-artifacts, the slight blurring around the jawline, when the digital Serena turned her head too quickly. They analyzed the audio spectrum and found the synthetic signatures of AI voice generation, and most importantly, representatives for the actual Serena Williams, who was busy competing in London, completely disavowed the video, confirming what the experts were beginning to suspect. It was a complete fabrication. Imagine, for a moment, being Alexandra Eala. You are preparing for a match, focusing on your diet, your practice, your mental game. Suddenly, your phone is exploding. Thousands of messages, tags, and notifications are flooding in. People are telling you that your ultimate idol, the woman who defined the sport you dedicated your life to, has just anointed you as the chosen one. You watch the video. It looks real. It sounds real. For a fleeting, overwhelming moment, you might even believe it. You might feel a surge of incredible validation, a feeling that all the pain, the travel, the losses, and the sweat have finally been recognized by the highest authority in the game. And then, the rug is violently pulled out from under you. You are told it is a fake. It is a trick. It is a cynical manipulation designed to generate clicks. The psychological whiplash must be absolutely devastating. Eala's reaction, which was a mix of initial shock and subsequent disappointment, perfectly encapsulates the emotional damage these deepfakes can inflict. She was forced to issue statements, to navigate questions from reporters about a situation she had absolutely zero control over, and to process the bizarre reality that someone used a fake version of her idol to play a cruel trick on her and her fans. This is not just a harmless prank. This is psychological interference. It is an unwanted, unwarranted intrusion into the mental space of an elite athlete who needs absolute focus to survive in her profession. And then we must pivot to the other victim in this scenario, Serena Williams. It is crucial to understand the context of Serena's life right now in 2026. She is a global icon, a businesswoman, a mother, and an athlete who recently made a stunning return to court, playing doubles and proving that her competitive fire is eternal. Her voice carries massive weight. When Serena Williams speaks, the sporting world listens, the financial markets listen, the cultural zeitgeist listens. Her endorsement is worth millions of dollars. Her opinion can shape the trajectory of another player's career. To steal her voice and her face is to steal her agency. It is a form of digital kidnapping. The creators of this deepfake bypass Serena's public relations team, her legal counsel, and her own conscious choice, forcing her digital avatar to say things she never thought to a person she may or may not have strong opinions about. This is a profound violation of her right to publicity and her right to control her own narrative. The legal framework surrounding this is currently a disastrous, chaotic mess. In most jurisdictions, the laws regarding deepfakes and the right to one's digital likeness are hopelessly outdated, written for an era of simple Photoshop and easily recognizable parodies. When a deepfake is created not for direct financial theft, but for viral engagement, who do you sue? The anonymous user who uploaded it? The platform that hosted it and algorithmically amplified it? The software company that created the open-source AI tool used to generate the fake? The legal battles of the next decade will not be fought over physical property. They will be fought over digital identity. Serena Williams and athletes of her caliber are now forced to become defensive managers of their own reality. They will likely have to employ digital surveillance teams to constantly monitor the internet for synthetic versions of themselves, issuing takedown notices in a never-ending, exhausting game of whack-a-mole. This takes time, resources, and emotional energy away from their actual lives and careers. Furthermore, we need to rigorously analyze that deeply unsettling tagline, Alex's best version still hidden. What is the intent behind these 5 words? It reads like a provocative challenge. Is it a statement from the deepfake creator implying that they have even more realistic, more damaging videos waiting to be released? Is it an ominous warning that the technology is only going to get better and that this current fake is just a prototype, a proof of concept? Or, more disturbingly, is it a commentary on Eala herself? In the hyper-competitive world of modern tennis, athletes are often treated like software, expected to constantly patch their weaknesses, upgrade their skills, and download new strategies. The phrase, best version still hidden, reduces a human being, a young woman navigating the complexities of growing up in the public eye, into a product that has not yet reached its final, optimized state. It reflects a toxic, relentless pressure from fans, sponsors, and media who demand perfection and constant evolution. It suggests that the current Alex Eala is merely a beta version, and that the public is impatiently waiting for the final release. This kind of rhetoric is damaging. It dehumanizes the athlete, stripping away their humanity and replacing it with the cold, calculating language of technological development. Let's expand on the technological aspect, because it is absolutely vital to understand what we are up against. The AI models used to create these deepfakes operate on generative adversarial networks, or GNs. Essentially, 2 neural networks are pitted against each other. One network, the generator, tries to create a fake image or audio clip of Serena Williams. The other network, the discriminator, tries to detect if it is real or fake. They train each other millions of times, learning from their mistakes, until the generator produces a fake so perfect that the discriminator cannot tell the difference. This technology is no longer locked away in multi-million-dollar university laboratories or massive tech corporations. The tools have been democratized. Open-source software and cloud computing power have made it entirely possible for an individual with a decent laptop and some technical know-how to create a hyper-realistic deepfake in their bedroom over a weekend. They simply scrape hundreds of hours of high-definition video and audio of Serena Williams from YouTube interviews, match press conferences and documentaries, feed it into the model, and let the algorithm do the heavy lifting. The barrier to entry for reality manipulation is now terrifyingly low. This democratization of deception presents an existential crisis for sports journalism. For over a century, the fundamental pact between the media and the public has been that seeing is believing. If there is video footage of a person saying something, it happened. That foundational pillar of truth has now been completely destroyed. Journalists can no longer simply aggregate content they find online. They cannot assume that a viral video of an athlete making a controversial statement is authentic, regardless of how real it looks. The verification process must now become incredibly rigorous and deeply technical. Newsrooms will have to employ digital forensics experts. They will have to run software that detects algorithmic anomalies in pixels and audio waves before they can report on a quote. This slows down the news cycle in an era where speed is everything. And unfortunately, the truth is often much slower than a lie. By the time a journalist has definitively proven that a video is a deep fake, the lie has already traveled around the world, racked up tens of millions of views, and shaped the opinions of a massive segment of the public who will never see the subsequent correction or debunking article. The damage is instantaneous and permanent. The truth is delayed and easily ignored. Consider the implications for the future of athletic endorsements and sponsorships. Brands spend millions of dollars associating themselves with the credibility, the image, and the authenticity of athletes like Serena Williams and Alex Eala. What happens when a deepfake video emerges showing a sponsored athlete allegedly making a deeply offensive comment or endorsing a rival product? The immediate public backlash would be severe. The brand stock price could plummet. Contracts could be terminated. Even if a video is later proven to be a fake, the brand association might be permanently tainted. Brands will have to restructure their contracts to include complex clauses regarding synthetic media. Athletes will have to fight to ensure they are not penalized for the actions of their digital clones. The entire ecosystem of sports marketing, which relies heavily on perceived authenticity of the athlete's voice, is built on a foundation that can now be counterfeited with terrifying ease. Moreover, We have to look at the fans, the audience, us. We are the fuel for this viral machine. Why did so many people share the fake Serena video without questioning it? Because of confirmation bias. We want to believe the things that align with our hopes and our existing narratives. Fans of Alex Eala wanted to believe that Serena Williams recognized her greatness. The video confirmed what they already felt in their hearts. So they bypassed their critical thinking faculties and hit the share button. Deepfakes prey on our emotions, not our logic. They are designed to trigger a visceral reaction, joy, outrage, shock, pride, that compels us to spread the content before we have a chance to analyze it. This incident is a glaring, urgent reminder that we, as digital consumers, have to fundamentally change our relationship with media. We have to cultivate a healthy, robust skepticism. We have to stop automatically trusting the feed. When we see a sensational video, our first instinct can no longer be to share it. Our first instinct must be to question its source, to look for verification from established, credible entities, and understand that the image on the screen is infinitely malleable. The story of Alexandra Eala and the Serena Williams deepfake is not an isolated incident. It is a terrifying preview of the coming decade. As AI models become more advanced, as the rendering times decrease, and as the synthesis of human emotion becomes indistinguishable from reality, we will see an explosion of synthetic media in the sport world. We will see deepfake videos designed to manipulate betting markets, showing star quarterbacks allegedly suffering injuries in private practice. We will see fake audio recordings designed to create locker room division, attributing inflammatory quotes to teammates. We will see synthetic scandals designed to ruin careers and alter the course of championships. The integrity of the sport itself is under threat. If we cannot trust the words coming out of an athlete's mouth, if we cannot trust the video footage of their actions off the court, then the narrative foundation of professional sports begins to crumble. This brings us back to the young woman at the center of this storm, Alexandra Eala. She has handled this bizarre, unprecedented situation with remarkable grace and maturity, but she shouldn't have to. She is a tennis player. Her job is to hit a yellow ball over a net better than the person on the other side. Her job is not to be a cybersecurity analyst, a digital rights advocate, or the unwitting test subject for malicious artificial intelligence. Yet, this is the burden placed on a modern athlete. They must not only master their physical bodies, but also relentlessly defend their digital avatars. They exist in a dual reality: the physical world of sweat, clay, and grass, and the digital world of algorithms, deepfakes, and viral manipulation. And the latter is proving to be far more unpredictable, far more dangerous, and far more exhausting than any opponent they will ever face on the court. As we reflect on this entire debacle, the phrase, Alex's best version, still hidden, lingers in the air like a digital threat. It is a reminder that the technology that created this fake is only in its infancy. The best version of these deceptive tools is still hidden, still being developed in the dark corners of the internet, waiting to be unleashed. The fake Serena video was a test run. It was a demonstration of power. It proved that you can hijack the global sports conversation, manipulate the emotions of millions of fans, and disrupt the lives of elite athletes without ever leaving your keyboard. The question is no longer if this will happen again. The question is when, and how much damage it will cause next time. We are entering an era where authenticity is no longer a given. It is a battleground. And in this battle, the athletes, the journalists, and the fans are currently losing ground to the algorithms. We have to demand better. We have to demand that social media platforms invest heavily in deep fake detection technology, prioritizing truth over engagement. We have to demand that lawmakers create robust, modern legal frameworks that severely punish the malicious creation and distribution of synthetic media designed to deceive or defame. We have to demand that the creators of these powerful AI tools implement safeguards and watermarks that make their output easily identifiable as artificial. But most importantly, we have to demand more from ourselves. We have to become active, critical consumers of media. We have to refuse to be pawns in the viral games played by anonymous actors. The story of Alex Eala and the fake Serena Williams is a wake-up call. It is a loud, blaring alarm bell ringing in the middle of the sports world. If we choose to ignore it, if we dismiss it as a mere glitch in the matrix, we do so at our own extreme peril. The very concept of reality is being digitized, manipulated, and sold back to us for clicks. Alexandra Eala survived this digital ambush, and Serena Williams' legacy remains untouchable by code. But the precedent has been set. The weapon has been fired. The intersection of sports and deepfake technology is no longer a theoretical debate for the future. It is a massive, complex, and deeply dangerous reality happening right now, on our screens, in our feeds, and in our minds. We must stay vigilant. We must question everything. And we must protect the human element of sports from the cold, calculating, and inherently deceptive nature of artificial manipulation. We have covered an immense amount of ground today. We have traversed the intricate, often terrifying landscape of artificial intelligence and its collision with the world of professional tennis. We have looked at profound psychological toll this exacts on athletes like Alexandra Eala, who are forced to navigate digital landmines while trying to perfect their physical craft. We have examined the blatant violation of digital identity suffered by Serena Williams, an icon whose voice was hijacked to serve an algorithm. We have dissected the mechanics of the deepfake itself, the democratization of deception, and the massive looming threat this poses to the integrity of sports journalism, brand sponsorships, and the fundamental trust of the global fan base. And we have stared directly into the ominous implications of that viral tagline, "Alex's best version still hidden," recognizing it as a grim warning of the technological escalation that is inevitably coming our way. This incident is not just a footnote in the 2026 tennis season. It is a massive, flashing neon sign pointing toward a future where truth is subjective, reality is malleable, and our digital senses are constantly under siege. The story of the Eala-Serena deepfake is a stark, undeniable reminder that the digital world we inhabit is not neutral territory. It is an active, hyper-competitive arena where truth and fiction battle daily for our attention, our emotions, and our beliefs. As we move forward, the responsibility falls squarely on all of us. The social media platforms must stop prioritizing engagement over authenticity, deploying advanced detection algorithms to intercept these synthetic fabrications before they go viral. The legal systems globally must wake up from their analog slumber and draft aggressive, protective legislation that guards the digital likeness and voice of every individual, from global superstars to everyday citizens. But ultimately, the final line of defense is us, the audience. We must cultivate an unrelenting, rigorous skepticism. We must train our minds to look past the sensational headlines, to question the source of every explosive video, and to demand verification before we grant our belief or our outrage. The sports world, with all its passion, its narratives, and its emotional resonance, is the perfect target for this kind of algorithmic manipulation. If we allow our love for the game and our desire for incredible stories to blind us to the realities of synthetic media, we will lose the very essence of what makes sports compelling: the unscripted, unfiltered, and undeniably human truth of athletic competition. We must protect that truth at all costs. Thank you for joining me on this exhaustive deep dive. Stay critical, stay vigilant, and never stop questioning the narrative. I will see you next time.